Hello. Let's take a look at two questions on quadratic equations. First question, two positive numbers differ by 4 and the reciprocals of their values differ by 4 out of 21. Find the two numbers. Now let's take a look. Question here is asking you for two numbers. So let's assign them as x and y. Since the two of them differ by 4, one would be bigger than the other. So we let x be the larger number and we let y be the smaller number. If they differ by 4, means that the bigger number subtract the smaller number gives you 4. Hence, x minus y is equals to 4. That would be equation 1. Based on the second part of the question, the reciprocals of their values differ by 4 out of 21. Now, what are reciprocals? Reciprocals are such that the numerator of a fraction now becomes its denominator and the original denominator of the fraction becomes its numerator. So if I give you an example of the number 5, 5 is written as 5 out of 1. So 5 out of 1 has a reciprocal of 1 out of 5. Now, reciprocals of their values differ by 4 out of 21. So let's see, we have the reciprocal of x being 1 out of x. Reciprocal of y being 1 out of y. So let's consider which fraction is actually larger, which is smaller, such that when we subtract, the difference is 4 out of 21. So we know that x is the larger number, y is the smaller number. Which fraction then gives us the larger fraction? If we are not so sure, let's assign values to x and y so that we may see it more clearly. Let's say, let's take for example, x is a larger number, say 5. Okay, so 1 out of 5 and 1 out of y, let's assign y a smaller number, 1 out of 2. Now, comparing the fraction 1 out of 5 and 1 out of 2, which one gives you the larger fraction? You'll realize that half is actually the larger fraction. Hence, 1 out of y is actually the larger fraction. So what can we say from here? What we could possibly conclude is 1 out of y, which is the larger fraction, subtract the smaller fraction 1 out of x is 4 out of 21. Let's tidy up the fraction on the left-hand side, combining it into one fraction. So that will be x minus y out of xy equals to 4 out of 21. At this point, I'm going to apply the use of cross multiplication. And after cross multiplying, what we will be getting would be 21x minus 21y equals to 4xy. And this will be our equation 2. Now, how do we solve for x and y? From equation 1, we could make x the subject. X is equals to y plus 4, which is equation 3 now. Now, let's substitute equation 3 in equation 2. So, 21 bracket x plus 4 minus 21y equals to 4 bracket x plus 4 times y. So let's multiply it out. 21y plus 84 minus 21y equals to 4y squared. Now how do I get my 4y squared? 4y squared is due to 4 multiplied by the y and multiplied by another y outside. And the next term would be this, where we take 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by y. So that would give you 16y. Let's tidy up what we have here. 4y squared on the right hand side remains. Let's bring our, okay, I saw something. You realize that the 21y and negative 21y cancels each other out. We don't need to bring our y terms to the right hand side. Plus 16y remains. 84, I'm going to bring it over to the right hand side. So minus 84 equals to 0. Divide every term by 4. Y squared plus 4y minus 21 equals to 0. Go ahead to factorize. I will end up with y minus 3 and y plus 7 equals to 0. Now when we factorize, if you recall, we use either the multiplication frame or the cross method. I will skip the workings for that here in essence of time. So from here we can tell that y is equals to 3 or negative 7. Now, is there a value of y that we have to reject based on the conditions given? Well, if you look very closely at what the question says, the numbers must be positive. So which is the number that is not positive? We have to reject that. So I will put the word reject next to 7, negative 7. Hence, I substitute y equals to 3 into equation 3 to get the corresponding value of x. So x is 7. Therefore, x equals to 7 and y equals to 3. So that's the first question. Second question here says that a rectangular grass field 60 meters long and 50 meters wide is surrounded by a path of uniform width x meters. If the area of the path is 2/5 the area of the grass field, find the value of x. Now, where's the grass field? This would be the grass field. Good to identify where things are. So the path is by the side. Yeah, this is the path. Let me just label it. The area of the path is 2/5 the area of the grass field. Okay, so in terms of the area of the path, 2 units would go to it and 5 units would go to the area of the grass field. How can we find the value of x? Perhaps let's see what we already know. What we can find out from here is really the area of the grass field. So let me just write down area of grass field equals to length times breadth. So 60 multiplied by 50, that will give you 3,000 meters square. Now, what else can we gather from here? Well, perhaps what we could gather is the area of the big rectangle, which includes area of path plus area of grass field. So I'm going to combine it this way. And to find area of grass, sorry, the area of the path and the grass field, the area of the path, okay, you see, both of them actually make up the big rectangle, right? So area of the big rectangle would be the length, the longest length that we can find, which is over here. Okay. And the breadth, the corresponding breadth, which is here. Now, how do we find this length here? If we note that this length, this particular part of length is actually 60, okay, we bring down our value of x. This is actually x. This is also x. So the length is actually 60 plus 2x. How about the breadth then? Now, the breadth can be broken down into 3 smaller lengths, like that. Okay, this is also x. This is 50. And the one at the bottom is x. Hence, the breadth is 50 plus 2x. So the area of the path plus the grass field, let's expand out. So we get 3000 plus 120x plus 100x plus 4x squared. Tidy up, 4x squared plus 220x plus 3000. All right. So I will bracket the whole thing up and put down meters square. Now, let's take a look and see how we can use these two pieces of information and the fraction 2 out of 5 to solve for x. Area of the path is 2/5 the area of the grass field. Okay, now can we find the area of the path now? The area of the path is equals to the area of the path plus the grass field, subtract the area of the grass field. Okay. Now, in other words, if area of the grass field if the area of the grass field is 5 units, okay, and the area of the path is 2 units, that means the area of path plus grass field is 7 units. Let me put it in perspective. Area of path, 2 units, right? So this is 2 units in terms of area, this whole path here. The area of the grass field is 5 units, okay? Now, so if we were to add both areas together, that would make it 7 units. Now, what is it we know now of? Now, what we know of is the area of the grass field, which is 5 units, and 5 units here is 3000 meters square. So let's equate 5 units to 3000 meters square. And from here, we can find what 1 unit is. That gives you 600 meters square. Now, from 1 unit being 600, can we now find what 7 units is? That will give you the area of path plus grass field. Okay. Now, this is area of path plus grass field, which is this. And I'm going to equate these two parts together. So exciting, right? So we have 4x squared plus 220x plus 3000. That gives you 4200. Now let me bring the 4200 over to the left-hand side. Excuse me. Okay, here I will divide all terms by 4 to simplify it. So 220 divided by 4, we get 55. I'm going to now factorize. I will end up with x minus 5, x plus 60 equals to 0. And therefore, my value of x is 5 or negative 60. And as usual, I will have to ask myself, is there a value of x that I need to reject? Well, you might ask, perhaps so, since this question is a question of length, of area, of width, perhaps the negative component of x should be rejected. And I agree so, because we do not have any form of length or width or area that is negative. So finally, our answer, x equals to 5. Is there a need to put your units down? No, because here we are looking at the x without the meters. The meters is the unit of meter is written next to x, so it's already provided for. Hence, x is only a number. So hopefully this short sharing is something that is helpful to you. If you have any questions, do feel free to send it to me so that I can do a short presentation on it too. Take care.